In today's video, we are going to tell you how we integrate phase 3 loading to help our tendons get healthy before we go back to jumping. My name is John Evans. I coach the highest jumper in the world. This is Isaiah Rivera. He's the highest jumper in the world. This is Austin Burke. He has a 45-inch vertical off one. And yeah, let's get into it. Oh, wait, before we start.
What?
Go where?
Oh, hey guys. You should sign up for coaching. Because I don't do this part. I only do the discount.
Go to THPstrength.com if you want to sign up for coaching. You get coached by the three of us. And we've actually added 2 more coaches to help you guys in your endeavor.
And weekends.
Yeah. So if you see that,
What?
Philip Vana is one of them, and then Ethan will also be helping us. So we are going to help you guys be the best you can possibly be. We're trying to make it better and not worse by making sure that we give you guys high-quality coaches that we've been working with for a long period of time. They're basically approved by me. Anything else?
Wait, we should give them a discount. With that much more added value, let's keep the same discount. Code THP for 10% off your first month at checkout. Also, we do have a 6-month option, so if you want to save some money on that, you can do that too. Also, do better. Be better. Let's grow.
Thanks, Austin.
By the way, I'm starting to get into a full body sweat.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love it. Look, I'm going to sprint. I'm sprinting outside after this, so I don't even care.
This is our warm-up. We're like,
yeah. Okay, so where are you at, Isaiah? You are now 14 days out from Turkey.
Yeah. For those of you that haven't followed,
He's the highest jumper in the world.
I'm speed running a knee rehab. 2 weeks ago, went to dunk camp, overjumped like crazy, overjumped leading into it. It led to me being at like a 9 out of 10 pain doing a bodyweight squat with a really big dunk contest 4 weeks from that date. So that led to us beginning a speed run tendon rehab. We're now 2 weeks in. I'm able to squat 315, half squat slow for 5 with no pain.
Standing box jumps.
I'm able to do standing box jumps at 100% effort with no pain, which was the introduction to phase 3. So can you explain?
It's phase 4.
It was supposed to be phase 3.
Did you do the drops?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're speed running it.
So basically,
what's phase 3?
Phase 3 is energy storage, and this just means landing. If you are doing like literally anything, you're landing, whether it's 1 foot, 2 foot, technically even sprinting. And then the next thing would be phase 4, which is energy storage and release. When we say energy, think about potential energy and kinetic energy. If you drop off a box, or if you're standing on the box, you have a high potential energy. When you fall off the box and land, you've generated that potential energy is turned into kinetic energy. When you hit the ground, you're then storing that energy in the tendon. And so with Isaiah, we've had to progress very quickly through that and then get him back into jumping, which is now what the purpose of the box jumps were. And we didn't do an approach because his vertical would have gone up 10 inches or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. So
That's a lot of extra load.
Maybe 12 inches actually. That's a lot of load.
Yeah.
12 inches is a lot. Huh? Anyways, so yeah, that is what phase 3 and that is what phase 4 loading is. And now we basically have him at that point. He's now 2 weeks out. So he goes to his contest on the 24th, when do you compete?
The 26th.
Oh, you have a mic, right?
Yeah, it's right here.
You compete the 26th, so we're 12 days
12
out.
days out,
12
yeah.
days out. Today is an isometric day. He's going to do an elastic day tomorrow, then a slow strength day. We don't know tomorrow what he's going to do yet because it takes 48 hours for tendons to respond to loading. Right now we're in that waiting period to see what happens. I am having him do a new iso. We're going to start moving into more flexion. So if you show the people what that means.
So I'm going from here.
From 90 degrees to 45 degrees of extension.
Yeah.
I think that's how you measure it. I don't know. I'm not a PT. I'm sweat, dude. Look at my forearm. Look at my forearm, bro.
I brought a short sleeve.
Look at my arm.
I left it.
I'm just sweating sitting here.
Bro,
Yeah.
I literally feel like I'm in a sauna.
Did you see Morgan Wallen's ass sweat during his concert? It
No.
was disgusting. He did a
Our
concert here in
explore page is
Florida, and it
much
was
different.
disgusting. It was on Andy's. My girlfriend. Yeah, I know, kind of weird. Anyways,
That's just all ass.
her whole Instagram page is men's ass sweat. That's why she likes me so much. All right, anyways, where are you at, Austin, with things in your progression back to training after dunk camp? You can take the mic.
so much energy. I'm actually dying right now from the heat, so I'm working with
Mental
10%.
resilience.
10% mental capabilities.
I just accept it.
I'm
accepting.
I think I'm getting. Mine is.
The Navy SEALs, you know what they
This is
say?
like a burrito. Do
I
you
know
understand?
exactly what they say. You're gonna say
When
Embrace
you're-
the
when
suck.
you're done, you're really only at 10%.
Yeah, when you feel like you're at 100%
I thought it was
of your
embrace the
effort,
suck.
you're really only at like
Is that
10%.
Marines?
of
What's
what you
embrace the
capable of.
That's
That's
probably
Marines.
also Marines. Yeah.
Oh,
This
it's
was
also
Navy SEALs,
dating
though.
advice.
This is Navy SEALs. So I know you have 90% more in you.
I don't. Okay.
Want to, but
So.
You're literally about to sprint, so you literally do.
Yeah, I am about to sprint.
I feel better in this. I'm gonna sprint fast.
What was the question? Oh, how am
Where
I
are you
doing?
at in
My
training?
knee was killing me after dunk camp pretty bad. Training's been going good. Me and John have been kicking ass, taking names, the whole spiel. However, I'm not able to jump at the moment, really. I don't have any knee pain until I jump, and it just flares up. So we're just going to work from there. Probably like, I don't know, I was getting like a 6, 7.
What phase of tendon loading are you in?
The fucking survive phase.
4.
John, what's your hypothesis on Austin's knee pain?
My hypothesis is that based on training with him for the last 3 weeks, I think that the load of training is very high, and Austin doesn't like any discomfort in his knee. However, when you're training for a 46-inch vertical, if you have a 45 or whatever, the training intensity has to climb up. The training load has to climb up. In our bridge analogy for tendons, if you are putting too many semi-trucks across that bridge at one time, things are going to break down. You're going to have some discomfort. It's not going to be great.
It's not discomfort. It's like literally I can't jump off one foot without excruciating pain.
Yes, but during the training week,
Yes.
if he feels any discomfort, he's like, no, I'm not going to push. Because we're so early on in this cycle, both of us being 1 foot jumpers and having a history of knee pain, which is normal if you've been jumping off 1 foot for a while, it's difficult to maintain totally pain-free jumping whenever you're pushing the capacity of your body, right? We're pushing our limits. And both of us are kind of feeling a little bit of something. Doesn't really matter to me because I'm not focusing on the jump sessions right now. Those aren't the priority. I'll try to do them if I can. Otherwise, I'll just do drops. In Austin's case, that's difficult because he likes to dunk and he likes to jump well. And when you train hard, you want to jump well.
I get really sad. I get really sad.
Yeah, I don't necessarily care. So my hypothesis is that he's just exceeding the capacity of the tendon right now. Not too big of a deal. It's normal right now. Next week, we'll do a feel-good lift or feel-good training as a deload. I may or may not test my 10-meter, 20-meter sprint, power clean and squat. Also depends on how we're feeling coming out of this week. Because each week we're increasing the intensity, that is a higher risk of our knee getting flared up. So my hypothesis is his knee pain hurts because he's exceeding the capacity of it in jumping. If he doesn't do the jumping and he were to lower him or do drops, he wouldn't exceed the capacity. My other hypothesis is it'll go away after week 4 when we do the feel-good lifting. That's my hypothesis. I'm in the same position, basically, so.
I'm just blindly.
It's not blind, I just told you. I showed you.
No. I'm just like, I wasn't even, I didn't even, you didn't even
This is
explain this to
biblical.
me. Like prior to this, I didn't really know what was going on. So I'm just like, I was like blindly.
You were blindly following
I'm
me
like,
before,
John,
yeah.
just take me. He's like, you're going to be fine.
I think as a general guideline, if you're feeling knee pain, that doesn't mean the whole plan has to change. Like, you just want to regress it to the point where you start making progress. I think the only time plans change is when it's like an extreme flare-up where you can't even handle the weight room work. But usually my guideline is, 1, take out any explosive lift or something that you feel is going to be provocative. Do slow tempo squats at a weight where you feel at 3 or less, and then it feels progressively better with each set. And then 4 is like regress the elastic work.
It also just depends on where you're at cycle-wise.
Yeah.
For me, I'm building volume. It's not a goal of mine to be jumping high right now. If this were like 5 mesocycles in or 30 microcycles in, I would have a serious concern, because I need to be jumping more at that point and feeling good. Right now, I'm so far out from when I want to be jumping high. I'm barely dunking on 10 feet. I maybe got 1 dunk at dunk camp. I haven't dunked since. That's okay. I don't really care. The goal is to get fatigued, to push my capacity up in volume, see cross-sectional area increase. I'm not trying to jump high right now. That is something that is a focus later on. I think a lot of people have a hard time with that. They don't understand that you're not always going to be jumping high when you're training hard.
That's huge.
We've talked about that, but I mean, even
That's
I think
something
Austin's struggling with that right now.
Satyar, he posted something in the school group the other day, and he said, which I actually want to get your guys' opinions. I think this would be a good spot to answer it. But he said, he feels like he's living life for one day at a time, which is jump day. If you don't know, THP, the most common cycle, we usually train the whole week and then end the week with a dunk session. And he said that he's looking forward to that day the whole week, and then it happens, and then if he performs well, he gets depressed, right? Because you just looked forward to that one day the whole time, and then you didn't do what you expected.
If he doesn't perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I know for me personally, it's what you just said, is I expect there to be bad jumping days, and I just enjoy the process I enjoy dunking, whether it's I'm jumping low or I'm jumping high. One thing that makes me different, and this is why I want to get you guys' opinions, not to toot my own horn, but I can,
because we're not the best.
on my worst day, I can still dunk.
Yeah.
Right? How do you handle that if, hey, mascot, the lizard showed back up?
He's such a distraction.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
He's
bad.
how do
basking.
you guys, so for me personally, I love weight training, and I love dunking, even if I'm jumping low.
Yeah.
The only time I really get depressed is when injuries happen, but even then over the years, I've gotten better at handling that. So with you guys, how do you personally handle that? And looking forward to it all week. Maybe you're not jumping high enough to dunk.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious to see what you guys' thoughts
see
are
your
on that.
mic?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first? You got it.
You go first.
So in 2022, I had nothing going on, and that was the only thing I looked forward to every week. And I was so afraid of performing badly that I would adjust my training.
The lizard's running across the street, and it's so hard to not stare at.
I would adjust my training just so I'm basically fresh every week and dunking well. And then as I got, I guess, worse and injured and this and that I stopped looking at that day like a dunk day. Sometimes I still do. The only time I find an issue with looking at it like a dunk day or like looking forward to this day is if I'm feeling good. So when I am mid-cycle, I try to look at it like, oh, it's just another day of training. Like it's another workout as opposed to you're training all week for this day. Look at it like...
Something that you told me that I was like, whoa, that's so true,
What?
is you got to stop looking at it like it's a dunk event.
Yeah. It's just like I forgot about that, yeah. You gotta look at it like just like, all right, you did your high intensity lift on Friday. You're gonna dunk on Saturday. That's the next part of your workout. Do what you can. Try to jump to the best of your ability and
Get the reps in.
yeah, and then that's basically it. And then because a lot of people don't jump if they're not jumping well too. That's what I've noticed with a lot of our athletes. If they're like, they're afraid to get the reps in, especially when they're fatigued, and it hurts them too.
For me, I love training, so I really don't care that much about jumping per se as much as I like training. I genuinely love pushing myself. I love power cleans. I love power snatch. I love if I could do the full Olympic lifts, I would love those. I love deep squatting. I love doing heavy calf raises. I like doing hard things that are athletic. So if it's a Monday and I know I have sprints, I look forward to those sprints. Like I'm excited to try to perfect my technique. I'm excited to see how fast I can run. That's like another aspect of it. If I'm not doing sprints and it's a cycle where I'm focusing on front squat, I'm excited to see like what can I do in this given workout? Can I push my range of motion a little further? Can I make my back a little flatter? What are ways? I've always prided myself on being the best technician because I knew I probably wasn't going to be the best athlete. And yeah, there's days I go out and I can't dunk. I try to always learn from that, walk away from it and say, in what ways did I improve? If it's last week, I learned I probably shouldn't be dunking on anything other than a 9-foot rim right now because I'm in a high volume period and my body is pretty sore. Last week, my quads were sore every single day last week. I came into the session sore still, and that was on Friday. My goal was get high quality sprints in. If I can jump, awesome. If I can't dunk, use that as a learning experience. Why can't I dunk? Well, my knee's a little bit sore right now. Why is it sore? I sprinted 2 days a week, and I did tempo twice, and I did heavy leg volume every single day. Like, of course, I'm not going to be able to jump, and that's fine. I don't really care. Now, after this cycle's over, if I'm still kind of flat going into the following month, again, I'm just viewing that as a learning experience. Okay, why am I flat? Did I not get enough protein? Did I not get enough sleep? Was it the tempo work was too much volume? Am I still adapting to it? Like, what are the reasons why that's happening? I mean, for me, it's a lot of the time a no-brainer, but it's like I'm in my own brain. I know why things are the way they are. So if you're, maybe you're like Satya and you don't know why you're not performing well, try to ask yourself why. Why am I not performing well? And ask. You can always ask us, or if you're not one of our athletes, then, maybe sign up.
No, I was gonna say I think it is harder for shorter athletes, specifically. Like you and I talked about this after my session. I was talking about how I think I get more fatigued than you, and you were like, I don't think so. I think you just, because your vertical is lower and you're shorter, like it's so like it's yeah. And
Yeah, like me being, I told Austin, I was like, I don't think you're more sensitive to fatigue. I think it's just when you're fatigued, that can be the difference between you being able to dunk on 10 and not being able to dunk on 10. When I'm fatigued, I can still East Bay.
Yeah.
So I can still go out and have a session and like not overthink why I'm not like maybe jumping as high as I should be. And I wanted to say this. I do have two specific things that I do when I'm not jumping well. One, I play basketball, but not in the way that most of you guys play basketball. I don't try, and then when I get an opportunity to jump high, I try to jump as high as I can. So that's one way, like, most training cycle, like, hard, like, mid-volume, I'm not even having dunk sessions. I'm playing basketball, but I'm jumping hard in the game. And then two, low rim. I've dunked on 9'9", way more than I've had 10-foot dunk sessions.
Yeah.
And that's at my skill level, all right? Low rim is the way you go about that.
9'9" for him is like 9 foot for most of us.
what is that for me?
Like my vertical's 41,
8'6".
yours is 50.5, so that's a 11-inch difference. So if he's dunking on 9'9", that would be me dunking on 8'10",
10? 8'10",
like
yeah.
9, less than 9 foot.
And that's my regular dunk session.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking 70% of my sessions are that. I'm like, yeah. So imagine you guys is 80% of the year you're dunking on
8'3".
No, literally. That's what I'm doing.
That's me.
That's hilarious. And 1 foot's even more sensitive to fatigue.
Yeah, my 1 foot was
Which is
really
crazy.
bad. I could barely dunk. I could do a two-hand tomahawk at the gym. Like when I don't think I broke like 50% intensity, to be honest. But I was able to two-hand tomahawk and stuff, and 1 foot was just too painful. But I did get an in-game dunk, like not trying at all off 1 foot.
I have a point to make.
Yes.
I've talked to you about this recently. I think height is a huge reason guys end up quitting.
Yeah.
Because why shorter guys, it's harder to stay motivated. And I've said this before, I think dunking should be a reach-adjusted sport. It's like short guys dunking would be like, imagine in the UFC if everybody was in the same weight class. Of course, the featherweight is only going to last 1 year and get depressed because he's getting freaking thrown around all year by the 250-pound dude that's, you know what I mean, like body slamming him and then choking him out and stuff. They're going to get demotivated. I think dunking should be a reach-adjusted sport. I think if you are shorter, you need to be low rimming. Because at the end of the day, the reason guys are trying to dunk guys are jump training is probably because you want to dunk. If you're not dunking, it's going to get kind of depressing. And I know for me, like, because I started dunking when I was 16, around there, and I started I could already dunk, like, rim graze when I started focusing on jump training. And I don't think I would be where I'm at if, like, it was hard to dunk. But I just low rimmed. Up until from 15, 16, when I couldn't dunk, I was low rimming. I wasn't trying to, like, struggle dunking on 10 feet all the time.
It wasn't until, like, the last couple of years that, because when I'm fatigued, I can still, like, if I'm in the hole, I can still dunk. I can do a two-hander, one-hander, whatever, maybe a windmill. But for me to get those good jumps, like, I literally have to, like, basically taper every weekend if I want to be able to dunk on at high levels.
Yeah.
And honestly, I should be low rimming more. Rest in peace, your hoop. But no, that's a really good point,
RIP.
actually. That's why I also said too. I was like, a lot of tall guys, a lot of NBA guys, I think because of their height, they dunked more, they practiced more, they had more fun. There's more positive reinforcement because they're making dunks rather than like, you go from jumping your highest one day at 5'9" and doing a two-hand tomahawk and then you can't even dunk. It's really depressing. It's really degrading. And
It's only depressing because in our minds, 10 foot is the standard of, okay, good job. But, like, for me, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I view it as, all right, yeah, maybe I'm not going to fly this week. There will be a week where I fly and I jump really high, but I like training.
I'm sweating.
I like squatting. I like
That's huge.
power cleaning. I like training. Training is fun for me. It's my favorite part of the day. If you don't like training, then you're not going to like jumping.
I hate training.
And it's specifically training.
I like training.
It's specifically
Training's
training
fun.
hard.
Yeah, training's
like I could literally jump low every single week, but if I can go in the weight room and push, like even slow squats, I was telling John that the hardest part of the rehab is like the first like week or two when you can't go heavy. But once you can get up to like 150 to 200 pounds on slow squats and it's hard and you're like, ah, like on the last rep, I love that feeling. And if I can push my body, like I'm good, I'm happy.
There's other benefits to it. Like I like seeing my body composition change. I like seeing my ability go up over time, even if it's not necessarily jumping. Like there was a period of time I didn't jump at all. I was a decathlete who didn't do any of the events realistically. I just trained and I sprinted. That was it. I didn't do meets. I didn't do competitions. I didn't dunk even. But I was a fucking beast. You threw me in anything and I'd be like, yeah, I'll play ultimate frisbee.
Yeah, you were.
And I'll run y'all down. You saw my back.
Bro, and that's why I like playing sports. And this is, I guess, a third alternative is like do other activities that are an expression of force output and explosiveness. Like
Of yourself.
Go play freaking flag football and catch a high ass throw. Like you're still gonna have fun with that. I think that's why basketball is fun for me.
Yeah, but that's
if I can use it to express
it
that.
all comes back to the positive reinforcement thing I said.
Yeah.
Like if you're able to like stay consistent and actually have enough fun, that just
Bro, that's actually huge. I never even thought of that. Do
Yeah.
stuff that positively reinforces your athleticism.
yeah, literally like instead of like if you're
improvements.
if you're barely dunking on 10, go lower rim. If I always tell athletes this when they sign up and they're asking if I should low rim or should I keep trying to touch rim. I say low rim and just do max effort because you're gonna get way more reps in low rimming than you are going to be what is it called? Grazing the rim. That's only gonna last maybe 5-10 jumps. You're gonna get bored. It's not fun. It's just it's kind of degrading. You're like shit. Like I have so much further to go. Like as opposed to just low rimming.
If I would have had a low rim last week, I wouldn't have gotten pissed off during the session and left. But it was packed. There was a 10-foot rim, and I couldn't do anything because I was tired and I just wanted to have fun, and I couldn't. So do what you're going to have fun with. If that means I could have played golf on Saturday or Friday or whatever, and I would have had more fun displaying my athleticism doing that than having the absolute piss-poor dunk session that I tried to have.
You can't catch a high golf ball, though.
I can fucking swing the shit out of the club.
He just jumps up, tries to catch everyone's hits.
Okay, anyways.
I don't remember. I was doing something recently where I was like, I think it was when we were throwing the ball hard as hell, the pitching.
Oh, yeah, that was so fun. I think about that all the time when I go out with Bailey. I'm like, I got to beat Isaiah's pitch time. Anyways, that's the video, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're disgusting, sweaty swamp monsters right now, so we're going to see you guys tomorrow.
Let me
Isaiah's
go.
moving soon. The podcast will look different.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. Any updates on that?
Oh, exciting.
I just want to leave you guys with, please don't sign up if you don't absolutely love jumping.
Or training.
Training.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just jumping at this point. We have a lot of athletes.
We had a lot of training that we talked about. If you don't love training, don't sign up. If you don't love training, don't sign up. Don't waste your time. You have to like training. It's a big part of it. That's why we called THPstrength, Translating Human Performance. We're not called Jump Higher Here.
I like that one. Jump higher here.
All right, see you guys.
Bye. JJH.